Start.
Yep.
Okay, to put the helicoils in for a 5/8 screw, if you can see, that's a 5/8 screw hole there. As I told you before, we could get one of these heli screws. Look at this tool. You got to get this tool here. Okay, and then show the helicoil by itself. This is a helicoil by itself. Let me get you. That's a helicoil. At one end of it, it's open. Oops, give me. One end of it, it's open. The other end of it, it's closed. Okay, that would be the end that you would put in the kitchen there. So you unscrew this back. You put it. Get your hand keeper. You unscrew this back and you put it on the inside, and then you twist it shut. As you can see, it's going to go straight on in. You get it to where it comes out right to where it comes right to the end there. There's a guide right here that I've got set that it'll only go in so deep. Keep on twisting until the helicoil comes to the end. As you can see, it's come right to the end there. Now that's when you stop. But you see that closed part on it right there? That one where the wire that goes right in the middle, that's what you want to go in first. And then you just take and set it over the hole and screw it in. Again, this stop, there we go, and just screw it right in. Again, this stop right here is going to stop you when it's at its depth. It's shadowed in that light there. I'll get another. It's shadowed in that light where we go. Okay, now unscrew it. Once it goes, you just unscrew it, and it screws itself out. What this tool does is it spreads it, and as you can see, now your hole is a 1/4 20 instead of 5/8 16. I mean 5/8 18. Excuse me. So now it's a 1/4 20. That's how easy that was. And see, your 1/4 20 screw now fits in and screws in. Instead of making a whole new mold for different size, there's parts out there that can fix the problem. So we're going to install to this table with her putting that on, and we're going to watch her do a couple more helicoils. There's 2 of them are already done. 2 on the other side up against the smoothie winner though. There needs to still the helicoils, but we're going to watch her as she puts this together. Now, again, this was an outdoor patio that had 5/8 18 hole. The 1/4 20 screws that come in the kit were too small. All we did with that tool right there, like I said, it's about $40 for that tool right there. It's a helicoil tool. And you get the box of these helicoils. So it's called helicoil. And the little helicoils, the box of the helicoils are all up in there, a little bag of them. These are cheap and inexpensive way to fix the table. Okay, now, this is a recessed. This is a recess. It's not flush across here, so she's having to use the bushing.
A smaller bushing might work.
So we're going to determine which bushing that we need, and you can turn. If you need the tall one, she might have to take it back off and put the short one, and put your longest screw that will screw down and in there and tighten it up, whatever side. Okay, now you can do 2 things here. As you see, it has too much play in there. If you could use that, or in this case, we're going to use the smaller bushing. And it's going to pull it down. Again, you want them shoulders to touch the side. You don't want them to have spring in there, because it will have spring if your table's not. If you have a real heavy table, it could get that out. If you don't have a heavy table, well, then it's going to spring there, and it's never going to be stable. You always want to make sure that them shoulders set on this base right here. This again, so now you see the bigger round, the smaller bushing that she put in there. And now if you look, that's all right straight across there, and that's what we're wanting. The other one was above this line. If you look, it shoots straight across there. And I'll get you down closer, right there. See, you don't see the bushing when you go there. That means it's brought it up to that height, and that's what we want. It doesn't, sometimes with these are chopped down on the sides more. It doesn't matter what's brought it up high. You still might need the clips on it, and you might not. We'll see here. Because sometimes with these bases, especially these odd bases, they go down lower. So if we need the clips, we put the clips on.
The shorter screw.
With these helicoils at the bottom, you could pop that bottom off and then do it, or you could just use a shorter screw. So she just went to the next size shorter screw to put in. I'm sorry, this light out here, we're outdoors, so it keeps changing the kid. Let me get to the other side, maybe you can see it better. Okay, now as you can see, it sets on there. So that's good. It's touching back here. It's touching back there. You got a little void up here in front. That's okay. As long as that thing is stable like that, you're good to go. So now we have just taken a table, an outdoor table with a 5/8, and added this too. Again, she's loading up for the helicoil. This stuff is not hard, y'all. So when you see this technical stuff, it's not hard. Lucy's figured most of this stuff out by herself. Put it in the hole, make sure you get it in straight so you don't cross thread, and then just work it down in. What this little tool does is it spreads, it's like, the helicoils are like a spring that goes in there. But what this does is it spreads it so it'll go into the thing. If you try to put the helicoil in without that tool, you can't get it. It's not going to work. But as you see, there's the helicoil, if you can see it. Now, it is taking it down flush, taking it down there where we should be able to put it in. Again, if you use a bushing on the table jack, you use a bushing on the others. But I'm going to tell you, fellas, that is not always a rule of thumb there. There may be some times that you don't want to use that on the others, depending on the table. Again, we did not do China. China did not adapt to us. We had to adapt to China. That was already in. Okay, I've already done this to the unistrut, so she's doing the last one with the helicoil, I mean. So she's doing the last one. As you can see her, just winding it in. You see the stop right there that I've got preset up top with an Allen wrench. Preset, that when she gets to that, she backs it out. And there it is. Now she can put the smaller bushing and the stationary glide. What she's using on this, because of the helicoil, she's using the 1¼ inch screw. You have a 1 inch, 1¼ inch, 1 3/4, the flatheads. These are your flatheads. So she's using the 1¼ inch screw in there with that small bushing. Your round heads are called pan heads. They go on your table jack here. This is the pan head. The round ones fit in, the flatheads, as they're called, fits inside there. And there you have it. We've just installed to a table, an outdoor table, aluminum-based table that sits on the outdoor patio.